it's important to, it's two things of bad habits, but most of all, dream. I believe dreaming is so important because don't nothing happen, in nobody life if they don't dream about it and pray about it and then exercise faith with your work ethic. So, it's so many components that I would advise uh, the youth or anybody to expand upon. Most of all, dream and work like hell to accomplish your dream.
Wow. I was doing some reading on everything that you have your hands in with the community. Um, you have a recreation center that you started back in Houston. You have a whole program for an AIDS initiative called STRAP. You're doing a lot and you give back to the community. And most of the time, when people reach a certain level of power or a certain level in their life, they kind of drift away from the community, whereas you have stayed in the community and never really left.
Yeah, yeah, that's important to me as a human being. I caught a lot of flack, in my life because the police and everybody wanted me to disown the community that I'm from after I made it because they saw me come back and uplift a lot of guys that's entrepreneurs today. You know what I mean? And they didn't like it, and they attacked me for it. All the way up until the extent of trying to take my life. But I always had the mentality that I would rather be dead than to disown where I'm from. Because without I couldn't be who I am without being shaped and molded by my community. So it's important for me today to uplift and inspire and be accessible in my community. And I know a lot of people don't feel that way. I know a lot of people disagree with that
Mm-hmm.
mentality, and probably rightfully so. But as human beings, we all have our own calling, and we all have our own purpose. And I can't speak for others, but I definitely know how to follow my spirit and my discernment and my intuition to the extent where I'm just being obedient where my spirit lead me. And I love giving back, and I love being a part of my community, and I wouldn't have it no other way.
You know, I think that in certain communities and in certain realms, certain people receive a level of respect and a level of admiration. And I think yours is like, I think you like everybody's daddy, uncle, the mentor. And how did you get to this level of respect? Like, it is amazing how people respect and revere you.
I think I always say first and foremost, I think the respect I get is because of the respect I give. You know, I'm a I'm a man of respect, so I like to and I always have been taught, in order to receive respect, you have to give respect. I may be too far. Don't push that down. So I extend that by giving it first, and from there, it's important, sister, for people to have a word today. There's so many people in this day and time, they don't have a word. They yes don't mean yes, and they no don't mean no. And with me throughout my life, uh, I value having a word, and I always been the type of individual. Uh, I give respect and I demand my respect because where I'm from, you just, you had to do some demanding. So
Mm,
sometimes
absolutely.
that can be uncomfortable, but you know, I'm a little guy, right? So I had to learn how to use my mind over muscle.
Mhm.
You know, because I was as a kid, a lot of bigger guys tried to impose their will on me with their muscle. So I had to figure out how to use my mind. And the mind is one of the biggest and strongest muscles on our body. So it's important to use that along with getting your respect.
So right now, hip hop has suffered a lot of losses
Yeah.
within the past couple of weeks. Chicago, here in Chicago, we had the loss of King Von. We just had recently the loss of the artist down in Texas that we all were getting to know and love. O3.
Yeah.
What do you feel about all the violence that's going on
Well,
in the industry?
yeah, I don't like it. You know what I mean? I don't like it. I never have, but the reality of it is it's a part of the world that we live in. And, you know, one of the words, you know, I always, you know, tell people, and some like it and some don't, but if you campaign, you're going to eventually get elected. And, you know, that goes as far as like dealing with the universe.
I can barely hear you. You went out. I don't know who don't want us to hear you. You might have to hang up and we start over. Yeah, he might have to hang up. So I just had him go out so that he can come back in and we can hear him again. Ain't the devil trying to block? Soon as he get deep and drop them jewels, soon as he get deep and drop them jewels. Thank you guys. Thank y'all so much. Because I'm going to wrap it up with him real soon. I don't want to keep this man. I know he got a lot going on. Whoever is requesting to be on this video right now, if it's not Jay Prince, sorry, it ain't happening. I love all of y'all. Ain't that the enemy? Here we go.
Yo, yo.
You know Satan's staying busy this evening.
Yeah, yeah. He can't stop us though. No weapon formed
No,
against.
he can't stop us.
No weapon formed against us
Shall prosper.
right. That's right. I live by that saying all my life. You know what I mean? It was that scripture right there, sister. Every obstacle that came before me, I used that scripture. I mean, the
Wow.
FBI, the DEA, all the 3-letter names you could think of that was trying to take me out. I say, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And
God is good,
I
man.
stand on that right today.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So you were saying, you said if you campaign for something long enough.
Yeah, you campaign, eventually you get elected. You know what I mean? And I was speaking on the universal laws of God. You know, the universal laws of reaping what you sow. You know what I mean? You're not going to plant an apple and oranges come. You know what I mean? So it's important to like really understand that, really get some clarity of those things. And then you know what's coming your way. It ain't no getting around it, you know? And I think the lack of understanding where universal laws and different things are concerned cause a lot of us to get in a lot of the bondages and stuff that we get in. Because in my 20s, I didn't have clarity of the universal laws of God. You know what I mean? And the more clarity I got of them, the more clearer my vision became on my choices. You know what I mean? Because every day you get a chance and a choice. When the Creator wake you up, you got a chance. And throughout the day,
Yes, sir.
He give you the freedom of the choices you make. And based on them choices you make is where your destination is going to end up at. So when we see these things that's taking place today, you know, it's sad to say, but a lot of them is based on the choices that everybody makes. So we have to make better choices.
I agree. What qualities do you look for when signing an artist?
Oh,
What is it that sticks out to you that makes you say,
I love artists that want to be different. You know what I mean? I love, it's important for a person to even want to be different in the midst of all of this following that's going on. So when I hear artists that don't want to be like or sound like the other popular artists, then he get my attention immediately because I understand he possessed leadership qualities. So, for example, like Drake was concerned. Like Drake, when my son played Drake for me, I wasn't feeling Drake, right? I was like, wow, because he sounded like nobody I hadn't heard before. But my son, Jazz Prince, was like, trust me on this one, Daddy. You know what I mean? This is the new sound. So I had to at least be open-minded to the extent of not thinking I know it all and giving them a shot. And look what happened from that.
man, straight to the moon?
Yeah, one of the biggest ever,
Yeah, yeah. Is there anyone that you wished you would have signed that you passed on?
Yeah.
That you be like,
Yeah, let me tell you something. I passed on. I actually had Vanilla Ice like probably 2 or 3 weeks before he blew up. And I took him to a friend of mine that at the time I was hustling and wasn't focused on my business, right? I was so all over the place until I recognized the talent, took him to a friend of mine and say, sign him. You know what I mean? I like him. Sign this kid right here. And I left it in his hands. So when I heard Ice Ice Baby, I started celebrating because I had heard the song and I had gave instructions to sign it. So I'm like, oh, that's mine. I got me one. Shortly after to find out that the guy didn't sign Vanilla Ice because he didn't like him. You know what I mean? He wanted to use his brain and his skill and he didn't like him. And so, that guy sold like 12 million records. And if you multiply 12 million by 12, you could just $12 a CD back in the day.
yeah,
That's $144 million, right? So yeah, that's one that I wrestle with even to this day, but it made me get on my game because I vowed to never lose opportunity like that again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got a couple of questions. I'm not going to keep you much longer because I know you're busy. I know you're busy.
All good.
But we got a couple of questions. Oh, you know what? I wanted to ask you something. I saw that you had an opportunity to sit down and talk with Larry Hoover.
Oh yeah.
At one point.
Yeah.
I just did an interview with his son over the summer, along with Amina Noor Ford, who is Jeff Ford's daughter,
right.
to attack what was going on in Chicago and try and, have a resolution or some kind of sit down, something. How do you feel about his situation? Do you think that it's a possibility that a man with such power will ever be released? And do you think that it would make a huge difference today?
Well, let me say this first. I just added Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford name to the list of clemency and pardon list where Trump is concerned. So they are on the list. You know what I mean? So let me just say that first. Now,
praise God.
Second of all, I feel like both of those brothers would be very instrumental into changing a lot of the issues and problems that we deal with today. I would go further than saying I know what would happen if that was the case. Now, I have a personal relationship with Larry Hoover. I went in the walls in Chicago and met him, and I've had opportunity after opportunity to witness his growth. You know what I mean? Real growth and development.
Yes, sir. And agreed, 100%.
Yeah. So it's no doubt in my mind from conversations and from wisdom that I have embraced from this brother. You speaking of a genius of ours that they know is a genius, and they don't want us to have access to him because you have to understand a lot of things that's taking place is design. You know what I mean? A lot of it is designed, and we have to just like it was designed for me not to be able to make it and come out of the hood. You know what I mean? It was traps and booby traps all around my area of town throughout Fifth Ward to like stop me from being able to evolve and become who I became and inspire others to become who they becoming. You know what I mean? Because I didn't get out of there and like, okay, it's all about me. You know what I mean? I don't want to reach out. So when you're speaking of Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford, you're speaking of I'm a mini me when it comes to these guys. These guys know how to think. Of course, even where I was concerned, when I was a kid, I thought as a child. You know what I mean? When I became a man, my mind evolved, and I no longer wanted to tear my community down. Now it's about evolving where my community is concerned.
Absolutely.
And there's so many of them. If you look at a lot of, if you go to the Kennedys, all of them came from that same, they participated in tearing their communities down and doing different things that law-abiding citizens wasn't doing at one point. And then look how it turned out for them, because they was given the chance. They was given the opportunity. They don't want to give us that chance and opportunity. But to stick to the script, I'm campaigning real hard for both of those brothers' freedom. And I just pray that, God feel the same. And in spite of, all of those that mean bad, we'll be freeing those brothers soon. And don't be surprised, Chicago, if that take place. No, right before your eyes shortly.
Come on, 2020. We need a season finale. We need a season finale for 2020 because it's been a lot going on. Coronavirus, the slaughter of black men this year. We got our president who don't want to concede.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a lot.
Yeah. Well, the darkest hour come right before dawn. So we need some daylight, right?
Preach. All right, so I'm gonna get into these couple of questions and then we're gonna wrap it up with you. I want you to talk a little bit more about loyalty and tell everybody when it's coming to them, because that's what's been in the comments. When can I get it? When is it gonna be in California? When is it gonna be in New York?
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap up with that.
Okay.
But the_cool1 says, how do you know when you found the right artist?
Yeah. Well, you really know when that artist start buzzing in a special way. You know what I mean? And a lot of people try and say they buzzing, but it's a difference in a real buzz and an artificial buzz. You know what I mean? Or it's a difference in a baby buzz and an adult buzz. And the buzz I'm speaking of is a real buzz, you know. And when that buzz stick his head up, all the majors, everybody want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? That's one of the ways of confirming that you have a real buzz, because everybody want to be a part of that real buzz. They're going to start pursuing you. They're going to start knocking on your door to be a part of the team. In this day and era, record labels don't want to build that buzz where artists is concerned. So artists,
That's right. They want you to come with it.
yeah, so you can't be lazy. You have to turn your hustle up. You have to get out there and do the best you can to create your own buzz. And after that, you know, the sky's the limit. You know, one hit can change your life forever in this game.
Okay. Okay, so Trevor the Don 773 says, will you take a chance on any new artist soon?
Well, you know, Trevor, part of my prayer every night is God bless me and send me a blessing. So I'm looking for that blessing, and I don't mind taking a chance, you know, once I feel that blessing is coming my way, you know. So the answer to that is yes, I'm open for that.
Okay. And then Efalof Clough says, how hard was it to replace your brother in the Ghetto Boys?
Well, personally, it was very hard. Business, it wasn't hard. You know what I mean? Because personally, you know, I named my brother, I named my company Rap-A-Lot. I actually named it, the whole company, after my brother. So where my heart was concerned, I was hoping my brother would stick by me and just like, let's fight this thing out, you know, side by side. I wanted to see him receive the blessings and the benefits of hard work, you know, and of his dream, really, because it was his dream. But once again, you know, you can't force nobody to make the choices that you want them to make in life. And he made choices that wasn't longevity choices. And it, you know, unfortunately, he had to go do 20 some years in prison and things like that. So that's how that went. From a business perspective, I understood Scarface at the time was hungry and he wanted that my brother didn't want. So I was faced with a tough decision, you know, and my parent, a lot of my relatives didn't understand my decision until I bought them cars and homes and different things later. So imagine you making that decision, a business decision, and saying, okay, Scarface is showing up on time. He's showing hunger that he wants this career thing that he pursuing. And this is what I'm in business for. So I embrace him. So we know the end of that story because we understand how blessed Scarface was with his career. But yeah, that's the difference when you're dealing with personal and business decisions.
Okay, and then this is the last one. Nikki 069 says, did you play a part in Megan's contract, and how do you feel about what happened with Megan and her situation?
Let me say this. You almost tell Nikki, she almost scared me when you say Nikki 069, you know, because I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. I don't know if I have to cut this a little shorter than I thought it would or not, but okay. Nikki, Nikki, let me say this to you. I had no idea what was in the contract in the beginning because I wasn't there when Megan signed with 1501. But now I am there and I understand how everything took place. And let me just tell you, Megan, in the beginning when I wasn't there, 1501 gave her such a great contract until she never would have got a contract like that dealing with Rap-A-Lot. You know what I mean? When you give someone a contract the way 1501 had given her a contract, it was real generous. You know what I mean? I just say that to you. Unheard of generosity for artists, for a first time artist that never had an album. And I've been doing this for 30 years. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, her contract was better than platinum artists, established artists. You know what I mean? They've been out for a long time. So I'll leave you with that.
Okay. Oh, so when are we gonna be able to get this wine in Chicago?
No, I'm trying.
Because I want some rosé
I'm trying.
And I want some champagne.
Yeah, I'm trying to send some 18 wheelers y'all way. I'm in the process of tightening up, you know, a lot of the distribution because you can only get it online right now. And anybody who want it can go to my Instagram and bam, you know, the button is right there to get it prior to the 18 wheelers and the ships and the airplanes and everything bringing it over here. But what happened was it just done so much better than I expected it to do, and we're playing catch up. But you can get it though online with the online distributor.
Big shouts out to Jazz in the building. Hey, Jazz. Your son just checked in.
Oh, that's right. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Hey. I know your time is precious. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You've certainly made my day, and I appreciate you for coming on. I thank you for doing everything that you continuously do for the community, for these young men out here who are, a lot of them are overmothered and underfathered, and they need direction from men like you.
Yeah.
You know, thanks for always keeping it so 100, you know, and keeping it so transparent.
Yeah.
You know, and we appreciate you.
Yes, it's so important, and I like to say this to the youth out there, if any of them are listening. It's so important for you all to tap into a OG over that IG. You know what I mean? A lot of what I'm witnessing that's taking place, you know, I know OGs know how to teach y'all how to protect yourself better, and just a lot of things, a lot of fundamental things that's taking place that's totally unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like when I decided to go in the music game years ago, one of my things that I used to say was, man, this is the new dope game, right? But I meant it. I meant it in a way where the money was gonna be good, you know, but it's legal. You know what I mean? You don't have to take those risks, put your life on the line, and different things like that. With my decision of going in the music game, you know, I'm like running from the street world to go in the music game. So now, I said that to say this. Now, the music game is turning like the dope game. You know what I mean? Artists are becoming a target. Artists are making themselves out of targets. And it's so important for the OGs to step up, you know what I mean, and embrace the ones that want to be embraced, because I understand so many of them, you can't tell them nothing. Like a fool, you know, despise wisdom. And a fool, some fools want to run off a cliff, and there's nothing you can do to stop them. You know what I mean? They just got to run off that cliff. Matter of fact, when you tell them, oh, it's a cliff you finna run off, a fool run faster just to be able to, you know what I mean, to go off the cliff. So those that
Yes,
want to
sir.
receive wisdom, the OGs, you know, definitely in Chicago, you know, you're in a city that embraced me first. You see, Chicago embraced, a lot of people don't know, Chicago embraced me first when nobody understood Rap-A-Lot. Chicago, the whole Midwest embraced us and
Yep.
say, okay, we love you. So forever I'm indebted to Chicago. You know, I love Chicago.
And we love you too. We truly do. And we appreciate you for dropping the jewels. Whenever you say something, that's why we always listen, because we know that it is some information that is vital,
Yeah.
you know, to what we need. You know, it's like food, it's what we need. And I thank you so much. God always be with you. If you ever need anything from me in Chicago, I'm always here.
All right. I'm going to take you up
All
on
I want
that.
is my rosé and a little champagne.
All right.
I just want to keep the loyalty going. That's all. I just want to keep the loyalty
Nothing
going.
like it. We need more of that. That's why I come up with that name. Hey, what more perfect of a celebration to be able to drink with the spirit of, you know what I mean, loyalty being in mind.
Loyalty.
You know, that's what it's about.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, sis.
Appreciate you so much. Thank you for everything again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, you always have a friend right here in Chicago.
Love.
Good
All
night.
right now.